Okay, Act 2 Part 2, here we go! Good morning, Your Majesty. I trust you're ready for the day? Not wanting to disclose to Glynda the strange things I had been seeing last night, I simply nod, trying not to look as worried as I feel. Yeah. Excellent. I have a few things to run by you today before we make our way to the portals. My peers have been made aware of your arrival and are expecting you today. You mean the wizard? Do all of them live outside the castle, like you? Yes, we try to keep ourselves removed from the daily struggles and machinations of the Rose Court, and that's valid. We walk in conjunction with the throne, not under it. I wonder if I'll be able to say throne by the time I end this game. Maintaining a healthy distance is one of many ways we try to reinforce that fact. Yeah, there used to always be a court wizard who served as a liaison between the two. However, the last one died in the same attacks that took the Rose Monarch, and the position has been empty ever since. So wait, it isn't your job? At this point it is, but only by the barest of technicalities. The previous court wizard was my mentor. I'm fulfilling his duties out of respect for him, and out of my loyalty towards Lord Ospin. But back to business. We furnished your room with a large desk to accommodate some of the maps you and I will be going over later. Yeah. And finally, there still remains the issue of some of the lesson plans I'll have to draw up for you. Don't think that just because you were out in the desert, that means I'll forgive you for not practicing your runes, young lady. Yeah. You were supposed to be hiding your identity, not letting the strength of your young mind slip away into the sand. Yeah. Yeah, what? Yeah, what? Are you just agreeing with everything I say? Are you even listening to me, Rose? Yeah? Unbelievable. Jeez, what do you want for me to disagree? I'm trying to play along here. Your speech is vulgar and low class. No doubt picked up from that Shalom girl. You can't afford to be this casual with every person you meet. Rose. Is it just like really difficult for you to speak to people without slipping in an insult or two? And shouldn't you be using a moral title for me? Morality? At first I might have, but in the brief time I've come to know you, Rose, I'm wondering if taking a rougher approach isn't the best way to command your attention. This line could mean a lot of things. I won't scrape and bow to every whim you have just because of your bloodline. I've seen many roses well before their time. You'll need to work harder than that to convince me you are worth the years I spent searching for you. Yeah, Glynda's whole thing during this game is she's like, I spent 7 years for this. Which honestly valid. Okay, fine. I don't want to argue about this. I don't mean to upset you, Lady Goodwitch. I just had a really rough night and I'm on edge. Suddenly pausing, Glynda bites back whatever sharp thing she is about to say to instead fix me with a piercing glare. Rough in what manner? That's what she said. Huh? You do look tired. Something shifts in her demeanor, almost incalculable. I love the writing of this game, and I love every single writer for this game, but you people really aren't making it easy for me to read. You use a lot of big words. Did anything interrupt your sleep, Rose? The stern image relaxes, replaced with a flicker of concern. Concern? In this house of God? More likely than you think. Nightmares, by any chance? Oh, the music just changed. That's pretty cool. No, I'm fine. Just tired. Just like that, her tone stiffens, a hard edge entering her words again. I'm about to be really frank with you, Your Majesty. When Glynda uses your title, it sounds always really fucking painful. Are you ever anything else? I hold no love for the summer rose court. Not the families, too busy plotting against each other to notice this plain face falling apart, nor your solid politics. Whatever sick magic is in your blood that allows you to sit on this damn throne with no ill effect holds no interest for me. But Crow believes in the power of the Rose lineage, and Ospin believes in Crow. He continues to suffer daily and risk his life for Crow's ideals. So for their sake, I'll be patient with you and trust you not to lie to me again when I ask you this. What disturbed your sleep last night? Ruby Rose. Opening my mouth to respond, I choke on the words, a cold sweat building up on the back of my neck. I never spoke about my nightmares, not to anyone except Yang. Stubbornly clenching my jaw shut, I slink lower in the chair, feeling sullen and rebellious. No one in my life has ever spoken to me this way. Keeping secrets, I see. You're worse than the old fool himself. It's just nightmares. I don't want to talk about it. Breaking off whatever Glynda was about to say next, the doors to the strong room open wide. A familiar another gate makes my ears. I find myself sitting English is a dumb language, and also garbage, and I hate it. It will be in your best interest to answer the question, Ruby Rose. Lord Ospin, good morning, because that's what I'm supposed to focus on. Glynda is less pleased by his arrival, face pinching up worse than ever. Ospin, you are supposed to be resting. Are you determined to die from overexertion? I would mourn you if you manage to pass away through sheer stupidity. Hearing your gentle voice whisper such words of encouragement gives me the strength to face the day, my lady. You know, I didn't know there were that many words in English with T and R together. She rolled her eyes, lips pressed thinly together. Don't worry about me, Glynda, I'm not broken just yet. More importantly, if Miss Rose here is already getting her... I was about to crossly misread that. Is already getting the dreams, we'll have to reschedule a few matters. Already? The nightmares aren't new. I've been getting them ever since I was a little girl. If they're important, didn't Crow ever tell you? He was the one who took care of me on the nights when they were really bad. A glance is shared between the two, something in their years of experience together allowing them to communicate without words. You know, I never noticed Ospin's face being like, fucking hell, my boyfriend is a lying liar who lies. He failed to mention this, yes. Your lover failed to mention a lot of things, such as where and why he decided to hide the only person capable of sitting on the damn throne without dying. For 7 fucking years. We've been over this before, Glynda. Whoever led those grims into the castle that night had to have been someone inside the Summer Rose Court itself. No one else would have been able to lead the horde to the strong room. Everyone was suspect. No one could be trusted. Not even me. He trusted you enough to leave you on that cursed chair, though, didn't he? To leave us on our own to rally the troops and rout the enemy without a word of warning. Still under her voice is punctuated by the loud crack of his cane as he jabs it down onto the throne room floor. The throne... It echoes in the empty room. Glynda, enough! I haven't known Ospin for very long, but hearing him raise his voice is an unwelcome shock. Glynda, too, seems a little subdued, though not all that cold. Rose. Yes? The nightmares. I look to Ospin for affirmation. He gives me a tight nod. I'm sorry. I did not mean to keep them from you. I just didn't want to burn us. Do something crazy. Try us. Glynda has saying so much shit. She's not impressed. With all her rough edges and harsh words, Glynda is not the easiest person to trust, even though she has saved my life twice. But I can see she's trying. From day one, all she's ever done is try to help me. So if I can do in return is trust her. Taking a deep breath, I hold it for a few seconds, organizing my thoughts. Then I tell them everything. The nightmares are usually about grim attacks. They're always different. I can't predict what will happen. I'm always scared I'll never wake up. I've been having them for as long as I can remember. They spiked the night my parents died. That was putting it mildly. I had tried so hard to push the memory of that night far down, deep down, where when I never had to look at it again. Going back to Beacon meant remembering a lot more than just how to be a ruler groomed for succession. Before that, I was lucky to get 2 or 3 a year. Living in the desert, it became more like two or 3 a month. And ever since I left, every night, it's been hard to sleep. So at least on a subconscious level, you've already been attempting to attune with Crescent Rose. I crook my head to the side, the name striking a familiar chord within me, though I can't place where I had heard it before. So wait, do my nightmares have something to do with, the protection magic? The one Ospin used to keep the plane safe? Is that what you guys want to know about them? They aren't nightmares, Ruby. They're visions. Crescent Rose is a powerful tool, locked within the throne itself, and tied to whoever dares to rest upon it. I'm kind of tempted to just say T instead of throne from now on. I get up quickly, glancing over my shoulder to look at the seat of the T as though it might bite. With time I can help train you to master it. What is it exactly? Can I see the future? Nothing so useful. The things, the visions, they were all so vivid. But never thought they were real. I thought I was just broken or sick. They are real. Everything you saw was actually happening at the very moment. That is just one of the many powers of Crescent Rose. It's a connection to the entirety of the plane. Your kingdom, your territory. As a technical usurper to the T, my abilities were limited to little more than being a warning signal. I can feel more or less when and where grim attacks are happening. Sometimes I can prevent a tragedy, and I can keep them out of the city. But you, Ruby, a full-blooded Rose, the kind of power you're already wielding far outstrips anything even your parents accomplished. You should have only become attuned to the throne once the coronation was complete. If you are already tapping into Crescent Rose to scope the perimeters of your kingdom... He trailed off, lost in thought. We need to begin training at once. If you don't get a handle on this power soon, I'm not sure what might happen. My parents and Crow, they know about this too? Yes, Crow would often tell me how intense it would be to wield Crescent Rose. The monarch would often become trapped on the throne for weeks, at a waste of time, as they use Crescent Rose to protect our plane. I remember how Ospin looked the first time I met him, chained to the chair like a prisoner. To become one with the ley lines mapped across the land. It can take a terrible toll on the body, more so if you aren't a Rose. I was hoping we'd have more time before we started seeing these things, but I could ease you into it. The lines on his face deepened, eyes closed, exhaustion weighed on him, heavy, iron woven to the ends of his warbles. It's such a terrible burden, Ruby, and I didn't want to overwhelm you. So this is what it means to be a Rose. As far as inheritance go, I really could have used something less dramatic. A Rose, yes, and a ruler. It's a complex issue, Ruby, and a delicate one. But please, try not to be too angry with your parents or Crow. I know if you were my daughter, I would have withheld the truth from you for as long as I could. Personally, I would have begun preparing her for the moment she got her first nightmare. How is keeping her in the dark any better than arming her with the truth? I'm sorry, but if you wanted a Let's Play where people actually spoke English well and read the lines well, I recommend Shay's Let's Play, actually. You know, rabbit person who really likes Joan. They do really awesome voices, especially Ruby's voice. Pretty neat. Well, most people aren't prepared to tell a small child their nightmares are real. That was something that hadn't quite sunk in yet. Every time I'd seen a grain kill someone in a dream, every terrible slaughter I had thought was just a sick, twisted part of my imagination. It was actually happening. All of it. Maybe sensing my distress, Aspin lowers his gaze to me, sounding gentle. Are you alright, Ruby? I know it is a lot of taking. I'll deal with it. Other than seeing things that are happening somewhere else, what kind of powers does Crescent Forwards afford me? At their peaks, your parents were able to quell a horde simply by sitting on the throne and pulling it. Though again, it was harmless to their health. That's why Crow and I find it hard to believe that the mere pack of Graham slaughtered them that night. Yang and I have walked the walls of the castle a few times as well. I look around at the throne room, chillingly aware that for the first time this is where it happened. This is where my parents had died. Right there. I don't even know how they managed to get this far in. Alright. As for Crescent Sword's potential, the way it manifests in HTU Monarch is unique to the individual. You may develop a power that we can't even begin to predict. And can I control when I think things? Can I make the nightmare stop? Because like, it's not really useful to see things are happening right now. In time, yes, with a lot of meditation and a lot of physical training as well. Magic is a tricky thing. You will always be connected to Crescent Rose by virtue of your bloodline. The coronation simply solidified it. So the nightmares may never truly stop, but at the very least we can probably get you back to only 1 or 2 a year. I can live with that. When do we start? Tonight. And every night after. But for the rest of the day we have other duties to attend to. We still need to contact the other planes. So you mean even if I learn how to use Crescent Rose, we still need other people's help? Can't I wiggle my fingers and make them fight for me or something? It's not quite so simple. Crescent Rose's more destructive powers are a last measure against the darkness. Trust me, Ruby, you don't want to know what it feels like to have all the power flowing through you. Uncomfortably, I wonder if I should tell him I already know. When I attuned myself to the throne, my first day back at the castle, and let the throne taste my blood, I had felt it. Like channeling lightnings through my body. It actually felt kind of good. Ruby discovering what it's like to be a dom. So, shall we be off? Though I would understand if you want to spend the rest of the day alone or learning about Crescent Rose. What do you want to do, Ruby? I really want to open a portal for another plane, but I think I already spent like 15 minutes on the video, so I'm just gonna stay on the castle and do Yang's dialogue, because it's very quick, so I can end the video with something a little, not too long. Even through the thick layers of wool and cotton, I feel cold. I know this might sound a little cowardly, but I don't want to open a portal today. I'd like some time alone to process this. And later tonight, can we talk more about Crescent Rose and what it all means? Of course. Though she doesn't say anything, Glynda is fucking judging you. She's probably going to scold me later for not stepping up to the challenge. Think about the video length, Glynda. And now I'm thinking of Glynda as a YouTuber. No, that's the thing to think about. It's all too much to take in at once. Excusing myself, I exit the throne room and close the doors behind me. Resting against them for a second, I close my eyes, taking a deep breath and counting to 10. I've been dragged around for too long. Even if it's just for today, I'm not going to follow anyone's schedules but my own. What should I do now? So yeah, I'm gonna check on the dragons. Actually, I can explore the castles and check out the dragons, and then I'm gonna end the video here. And next time I'm gonna do Blake's recruitment quest. So the tapestry in front of me stretch from the ceiling of the corridor to just a few feet above the ground in height, canvassing over an entire section of the wall. That's fucking big. So gold thread must have shone brightly at this point, at some one point, but the steady march of time has robbed it to luster. It's not the only thing. The windows are covered in dust and grime, muting any light that shines through. I can barely see the sky out of them. Clearly this section of the castle hasn't seen anyone in a long, long time. Among the portraits is one of my family. My mother, father, and myself. I'm just a toddler, sitting on my mother's lap. Feeling heartsick, I turn my back and leave. A reminder of home would be nice right now. With that in mind, I go down out to the stables, where the dragons are being kept. These stables are different from the desert ones they're used to, but I make sure that mage fire is kept lit next to them. Hold on. These stables are different from the desert ones they are used to, but I make sure that mage fire is kept lit next to them at all times to keep the air on them dry. Okay, that's what you would mean to say. As I approach, I hear Yang's voice, accompanied by loud snarls and hissing growls. To no surprise, I find her resting with Ambler, a block of jerky in her hand, just out of the reach of Amber's snapping jaws. Oh, you want to play tough today, huh? You're asking for it. Spotting her chance, Yang clamps both arms down over Amber's snout, keeping her jaw shut. Amber whines, weakly scrawling at Yang with her front claws. Watch it! Amber's front limbs immediately go slack, though her claws clench and unclench with the desire to strike out. Be nice. In response, Amber just wiggles some more, trying to shake her head free. A low, constant rumble rolls out from her throat. Make all the words you want, I'm still the biggest dragon here, and you're gonna do what I say. No, sit. Obediently, Amber's rump falls down to the floor. After checking to make sure she won't back, Yang lets her jaw go. Leaning against one of the perimeter walls, I just watch the familiar scene go down with a smile. At once, Amber tries to go for the jerky again. Yang stops her with an opal palm, pushing her snout down in a display of dominance. Yang doesn't yell, but her voice stays firm. No, you don't eat yet. I'd eat first. I'm the big dragon, I eat first. This is my food. My food. She makes loud, slurping noises, pretending to eat the jerky in front of Amber. The dragon whines and stomps her feet like a child trying to thump her. Shut the fuck up. Knowing that Yang has to continually assert herself as the leader of the pack, I continue to watch in silence as she quells Amber's aggression down with harmless displays of dominance. Eventually, she has Amber roll over, flopping onto her back in defeat. Aw, you're a good guy. Yes, you are. She strokes Amber along her neck, petting her soothingly. We were just having a grumpy fuss, huh? Grumpy fuss? As the students switched into baby talk, Selika's interest is piqued. She stretches out, yawning after a long nap next to the fire. She throws over to Yang and nudges her for attention. Oh, don't worry, babe, I didn't forget you. Come here. Yang strolls her two dragons. Yang grip an arm around Selika's neck, pulling the dragon down to lie next to Amber, and have her join them on the floor. She sits with her back resting against Amber's belly. Amber occasionally nuzzles her, rubbing their head together jaw to jaw. Oh, so cute. Selika rests her long neck over Yang's lap, throat trilling and tweeting like a small bird. That's when Yang spots me, waving me over. Hey, Ruby. Sorry, I'd get up, but I've got like 500 pounds of dragon over my lap. So it looks like they're doing a handful right now. Selika butts her snout against Yang's chin, snorting in her face. You could say that. Walking over, I grab Amber by the muzzle and give her head a playful shake. Her nostrils flare as she explores my hand and sleeve, sniffing for treats and grumbling when she doesn't find any. Okay, that's where I stop. Love y'all.